Nobody doubts that 2019 was one of the best years in the history of video games, both in terms of quantity and quality of titles. Here I introduce you the 20 best games of 2019. 1. Kingdom Hearts 3. Closing a trilogy is not always easy, especially when there is a double-generation jump involved. A lot was expected from Kingdom Hearts 3, and it delivered just what was needed, making it a great experience for the Disney fan. 2. Super Mario Maker 2. Super Mario Maker 2 had everything to surpass its predecessor, adding more elements, creating maps of the great Nintendo universe, and implementing a story mode. And that's how the Infinite game is created in Switch. And with 4-player multiplayer. 3. Pokémon Sword and Shield. In Pokémon Sword and Shield, they stand proudly on a formula so robust that it can withstand anything they throw at it. With several welcome additions, however, competitively, it's more accessible and fun than ever, and Galar's new creatures are full of charisma, not just visually, but also in gameplay. 4. Call of Duty: Modern Warfare. One of those samples that teaches us that if everything works, better not to touch it. A campaign and a multiplayer to frame a game that now is greedier than ever. 5. Total War: Three Kingdoms. The romance of the Three Kingdoms turned into a strategy video game. If Total War: Three Kingdoms doesn't beat you because of its history, it probably will, because of its apotheosis of real-time battles. A game that knows how to navigate between fantasy and historical realism, like no other has ever done before. 6. Control. Strange offices, where all sorts of paranormal phenomena happen, along with a protagonist who, just a few minutes into the game, could well be a Jedi, as these are her main powers. 7. Mortal Kombat 11. Yes, there is a fighting game that was done very well at almost every level this year. That's Mortal Kombat 11. Not only for the charisma of its characters, or the ultra-violence of the house, but to show that a story can be well told in a fighting title. 8. Borderlands 3. The sequel already left us all with a very good taste in our mouths, but Borderlands 3 surpasses it in every way. Branded jokes, an interesting story full of epic moments, and action to give and take. 9. Age of Empires 2, Definitive Edition. Let's see if the same name already says it. This is the definitive edition of the magnificent Age of Empires 2. A must-see for all fans of real-time strategy, or for those who want to start with the best of the best the genre can give us. 10. Devil May Cry 5. Dante, Nero, and V have left us with an outstanding hack and slash, which catches you from the very first minute, for its frantic fighting, its wild combos, and a beastly soundtrack. 11. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 has returned this year by the big door, with a remake that has left us speechless. It has been worth waiting a little more than 20 years to see the launch of this new version, which has become one of the best Resident Evils ever developed. 12. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Yes, there is a remake to be proclaimed as the best that has been created this year, that is undoubtedly The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. One of the best adventures in 2D starring Link has returned with a more colorful version, and a magical world that we will not tire of traveling again and again, until you get to wake the windfish. 13. Fire Emblem: Three Houses. Being one of the greatest masterpieces, which we can find on the Nintendo Switch, it was clear that Fire Emblem: Three Houses wasn't just going to sneak into this video. This game is complete with an interesting plot. The game will delight the lovers of the saga and of tactical role in general. 14. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. When From Software goes to work, it does so with great ingenuity. And with this action title, only suitable for gamers, with a high tolerance for failure and frustration, as is usual in its catalog, the study has shown that it is still fit. 15. Luigi's Mansion 3. With this release, Nintendo is once again demonstrating what it's like to encapsulate a little bit of magic on a game pack. It's one of those games that can throw a huge amount of ideas and mechanics into the player's face, and it's very original per minute. It's a must for any kind of player. 16. Death Stranding. Kojima has no name, as he has done what he really wants to do, once he is freed from the chains of Metal Gear, and especially Konami, and he has done very well. Death Stranding is that game, which for the first time in many years, gives the player a new feeling. It's Kojima-san saying, if you have to make a game, from point A to point B, you either do it well, or you don't. A title where the important thing is each journey beyond the end. It's a video game that every game lover should try out, even though it's not for everyone. 17. The Division 2. The Division 2 is the sequel to the successful tactical action and shooting title, where players must cooperate to succeed in new and dangerous challenges. He leads a team of elite agents, in what remains of Washington, D.C., in the wake of a pandemic to restore order and prevent the collapse of the city. 18. Gears 5. Human beings' dependence on technology has become their undoing, and the enemies are joining forces to destroy all the survivors. Like Kate, travel back in time to reveal the origins of the Locust, and fight with your team to protect what is left. 19. Metro Exodus. We must return to the post-apocalyptic world of Metro, as we overcome claustrophobic environments, and more open ones, as we survive countless mutant creatures. A quarter of a century after nuclear war devastated the Earth, a few thousand survivors still cling to existence beneath the ruins of Moscow in the metro tunnels. 20. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fold. The great success of Crash Bandicoot Trilogy has encouraged Activision to bring back Crash Team Racing, the fun karting video game, which starred the best-known characters of this saga in the times of the first PlayStation. In the remastering, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fold, we are not only going to find that mythical video game with very improved graphics, but also some of the characters and circuits that at that time could not be added.